Hello family, this is Maryanne. Before I start this video, I was ready to go to bed, but I said before I start this video, I'm gonna let you know on this channel, you're not gonna see the fancy light, you're not gonna see the fancy background theme. I can afford the fancy light, I can afford the fancy background theme, but that's not what we're doing on this channel. On this channel, it's freestyle. That's how I started my YouTube channel, and that's how I'm going to continue. It works for me. When I come to you guys and I pour out my inner heart, when I come to you guys and want to have a candid conversation, I'm going to do it freestyle, Maryanne style. The most polished body of work you'll see from me will be a feature film that I've produced, will be the Black Excellence series that I started for you guys, or will be an interview of someone that I think is worth interviewing. But when I'm coming to talk to my family, it's going to be candid, it's going to be freestyle, Maryanne style. So for those that may have comment later on after seeing this video, well, why could you do it more professional with a slideshow? Well, we're doing it ghetto style, my style. So I'm gonna play the DS project interview that they had Dr. Umar's on, and I'm gonna give you guys my candid, my sincere feeling about this interview. I'm not holding anything back. And then to that podcast, I did send them like about a page long email. And if they do respond, I will follow up with a video. But family, here we go. We're going to start. And I want you guys to pay close attention at the beginning of the video. Look at his body language. You could tell he's uneasy. You could tell there's a slight tremor in his hand. And people that knows him personally will be like, my goodness, Maryanne hit it right on the head. You know, you're interviewing a demon, so that energy is in that room, and they know how he gets down. So you could tell there was a discomfort, but he maintained his composure. So let's go, family. Here we go. I'm gonna sit this right here, and we're gonna look at this video together as I give you guys my honest and candid opinion. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a really special episode of the Dancing Project, something that we've been trying to get going for some time. And like I have been more recently, I've been starting off my shows, seems like a lot with like apologies. You know, as I've kind of been...
And I'm going to pause. Right now, family, he is starting his podcast. He's starting his show with an apology. Right there, I can tell you, this is what you call a soft interview. This is going to be nothing that's going to be satisfying to the viewer because they're not agitating the guest. But let's go, family. Let's continue.
Starting to settle in as a podcaster, as a media personality, and as people are starting to get to know me, I really want to let them know who I am and what I'm about. Now, I went into a wild phase of podcasting, and I had a wild guest that kind of kept us a little bit on edge a lot. And my loyalty has always been like, oh, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. And I tried to get you to sit down with this gentleman on the show. And everything went left for a little bit because it was like, oh, I'm going to make it happen and this and that. And I apologize for trying to force that issue and try to make that happen because you clearly stated initially it's not something we're looking to do, and I shouldn't have been pushing it. And
I'm pausing again, family. Again, notice how apologetic he is towards his guests. Let's continue.
So for that, I would like to start this episode out with an apology.
No problem, bro. Appreciate it. Wisdom, growth.
And Dr. Umar is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Now, what's going on, Kato? How you feeling, my brother?
Man, I'm riding on a high, man.
Yeah.
Came back with a vengeance. Last few episodes have just been crazy.
And
absolutely.
Let's pause. Dr. Umar is the hottest topic, and you guys led in this interview. That's because he can't go to any brother or sister's platform. You know why? They would tear him apart. And he can't go to the more prestigious platform. You know why? Because they're going to ask for accountability. And he ain't about giving accountability. And family, so they think they landed something superior. No, you didn't. Not if when they landed this interview, they cornered him. They asked him the hard question. Then that would have been a golden interview. But you know what? No. Maybe you guys were on a roll, but this don't add to the trophy. But let's go, family.
Topping it off with this and more to come.
Yeah.
We on the road.
And this is one of them that I kind of been hiding when I speak to people. I'm like, oh man, I'm telling you, we got a great episode. This episode is going to be phenomenal. So again, my name is Danza.
Hey, yo, Kato.
And this is the Danza Project, and we have Dr. Umar. Now, before we get into any
And
type of...
Let me pause. I'm sorry. I'm not going to continue pausing briefly like that. But he's talking about he had to hide the interview. You did have to hide the interview. Because nobody, people are going to have expectation of what to come from the interview. So you knew this was going to be a soft interview. So yes, sir, you had to hide the interview. And then sprung it to us as a surprise. Let's go, family. Let's continue.
Conversation. I want to know where you're at, because you're constantly working, and when I mean working, you're doing a lot more than most.
Yes, sir.
Right, like
yes,
it's
sir.
not just the conversations that you're having on podcasts. It's the works that you're doing in the communities.
Right.
The conversations that you're having
Let's
with
pause.
the youth and with people in general. Where are you?
So clearly, our Latino brother is not connected or in tune with the black community. Okay. He's doing more. I could name 10 people that are doing more in our community than he is. What has he done? He has a gift, a gab. He does lecture. He brings us pipe dream that he has not delivered. What has he done? I would love the testimony story people to come. People that he has championed in their life, have made it different, to come forward. You know what, family? There isn't any. There isn't any. No, he has done nothing for our community but rape the black community financially, promise a pipe dream that he still cannot deliver. But let's continue, family.
Well, mentally right now, how do you feel?
I guess for me, the one thing that I just want to finalize is the renovations on the FDNG Academy,
Let's pause. The guest asked him, where are you mentally? Notice how he dodged the question. He went straight to FDNG. I'll tell you where he is mentally. He's not stable, family. He harasses people. He gets on video and gives people name and address and send people that don't know any better to try to do harm. Okay, family? Mentally, he gets on video middle of the night on the dark and not saying anything, invoking the spirit that he worshiped. That's where he is mentally. And then now, let's see what he has to say about FDNG. Let's go, family. Let's go. I want to break it down piece by piece to you guys. Let's go.
We've been almost done for so long, and now we're at the floors. But I'm still scared to say we done, because every time I say we done, something else comes up. So, I ain't been saying nothing. My thing.
Yes, family. You could go check with Lennon Honor and ask him how long this man's been telling us he's done with the school. And then how long have us that followed him, he's been telling he's done with the school. I am someone who is part of the Pan-African community. How long has he gone from lecture to lecture, from city to city, to tell us he's done with the school? No, sir, you can't say nothing, because now people are like, look, enough is enough. Where's the school? And then he had the audacity to get on a video to tell us, oh, I'm going to make a t-shirt, where's the school? Because every time I see y'all, y'all keep asking me where's the school. He has no respect for the community. But let's go, family.
Is when it's done, that's when I'll announce it. You know what I mean? I was supposed to go back to the Breakfast Club. And I text Charlamagne, I said, I'm not coming back up there one more time to tell people we almost done. You feel me? When we done, I'll schedule with you. I'm not going up to Power 105 again.
Let's pause, family. I do not believe what he is saying. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not inviting him. And I think to get an invitation, he knows they're going to corner him. I don't believe it's by his choice. It's because he's not comfortable to be on that platform. Okay? His patty chatty is a liar. And then you know what? His little Bati boy Charlemagne, okay? He's the one. Umar's the one refusing not to come. I don't think these people are inviting them on this platform. But let's go, family. Let's go.
Till we done. I'm tired of saying it myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when we done, that's when I'll do it, man. But we real close. When I fly back home tomorrow, I got to get to the school. They laying the floors now, and once that's done, we'll be applying for our certificate of occupancy. That's going to be interesting because the city
Let's pause. He's been laying these floors forever. I challenge anyone. I will personally pay you $100. Get me the fresh footage of that school. I will go to any Lowe's, any Home Depot, and ask them how much will it cost to lay those floors? Those floors been in progress for years and years and years. So let's continue, family.
not been our friend. They tried to sell the school behind our back last month for some frivolous expenses that we should not have even owed. So I'm gonna stay positive, but I'm not looking forward to the inspection because you know they can nitpick you to death on that.
Pause. He's already setting you up to let you know next year the school ain't gonna open because the city's gonna be against them for inspection. Why? Why wouldn't you pass the inspection if you're doing everything you're supposed to do? He's already set you up right there to let you know FDNG is not gonna open. But let's continue, family.
Absolutely.
You know, so when people say when you're going to actually be done, that's not in our hands. We have to see what the city says, you know. But I'm hoping after all we've been through, they just say, go ahead. If it's all in order, just pass him, you know. But that hasn't been the experience. Like everything we've been through with the city has been a fight, you know. Even to get a permit for the festival, they ain't want to give us that, you know. So it's really been a tug of war with them. I'm just hoping that we don't have to have a protest. I'm hoping
Again, he's lying. Every time he's supposed to open the school, he has a festival. It's called a cookout. Okay? He's talking about they don't give a permit. He always has his festival. Always. I've been to 3 personally, family. I've been to 3 because I was a repeated donor. I've been to 3 personally. Okay? So right there, he's telling them a bold-faced lie. But let's continue, family.
you have to take them to court for discrimination. I mean, the bureaucracy is mostly black. The mayor's white, but the bureaucracy is black. But discrimination is discrimination, even if you're the same color. You know, so I'm just, you know, I'm gonna just put it in the Lord's hands and see. But we knocking on the finish line, so.
Let's pause, family. Let's pause. No. I know you're like, Maryanne, quit pausing the video. I gotta pause the video. So he's talking about they're discriminating against him. So these black people that look like him, melanated, are discriminating against him. Please spare us the baloney, okay? And then what else he just said? I lost my train of thought. What else did you say? They're discriminating against them. But let's go, family.
If all goes well, we should be able to apply for the inspection before the end of the year.
And this is something that most people don't understand in general. Just starting a business is tough, right? And then when you're doing something in the community, it's going to be a lot tougher. When you're dealing with that much square footage, they could find something wrong anywhere. Oh, well, in this corner here. But a lot of people that have never started a business.
And then let me tell you, what the host is doing now, he's brown-nosing to the guests. That's called brown-nosing. Talking about starting business. There's business owner who is looking at this. No, he's not doing it the proper channel to start a school. There's people that have reached out to him that he declined him. I know personally, LeBron James reached out to him. He clapped on that man publicly. Let's go, family. Let's continue.
You know, have never gotten any type of education on what it's like. They have
never
no idea.
opened a school, never ran a school, but they're experts in our school. You know, and I don't get into it, but I hear a lot of it because my supporters send me the clips, and I've heard ridiculous things. I heard people say you can get an HVAC for $5,000. That's a $50,000 unit up there, and that was the cheap one. You feel me? This is not a house. This is a school. You're not getting no HVAC for no $5,000. You know what I mean? Every utility that we had repaired, plumbing, HVAC, electric, every one cost us well over $100,000. Nothing was under $100K for repair. So when I hear people say he could have got this done for $5,000, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole nother level. But
I'm going to pause right here. What he's doing now, that's gaslighting. Gaslighting to let you know this HVAC is something so extraordinary. Now he's blaming opening on this school on HVAC. Let's continue, family. Let's continue.
But my thing is, if you never did it, why are you speaking on it? And if you're not doing anything for the people, why are you speaking on it? See, that's my thing. I don't think people who don't do work could criticize people who do work. Now, if you're doing the work, you say, look, I built me a relevant institution. You can speak to it because you did it. We're being questioned and criticized by people who do nothing. And that's why I'm so tight-lipped on it, because I'm like, I don't owe you.
Let me pause. Yes, you do owe the black community an explanation because it's the black community money that's been financing you, sir. You don't hold a 9-to-5. You're not running a business that's giving you passive income. The community is your income. So yes, they have the right to ask you for accountability. Let's continue, family.
No answers. On top of the fact you never donated, on top of the fact you never drove by there and picked up a piece of trash, you questioning something that you don't support financially. You questioning something that you've never been a part of in your entire life. You've never been a part of anything.
So let me pause, family. Let me pause. I was a donor. And publicly, I told you guys $2,000, which I gave proof to on the Lennon Honor Show. I was a repeated donor. That's what y'all know, the 2,000. I know people that has given what I've given and then some. You understand, family? You understand? So yes, I have a right to question. I have a right to speak up because I was a donor to you. Let's go, family. Let's go.
That progressive as building an institution. So why are you expecting me to be accountable to you?
And so how do you keep it together? Back to that mental health thing. Like, how do you feel?
I'm going to be honest with you. The haters, the struggle streamers, they really helped toughen me up to the criticism because we've been dealing with it from the first day we took it.
Let me pause for a minute. Again, the interviewer came back on the mental health. How are you keeping it? Notice how he's still dodging. He hasn't answered the question. He's back on the hater, the struggle streamer. Notice how he's dodging that mental health thing because he crazy. He crazy. If he start talking, he doesn't know if this man doesn't know anything about him being locked up in an institution. But let's continue, family.
Donation in St. Louis, Missouri, April of 2014, when the St. Paul's College in Virginia went up for sale, because that's what we wanted. We wanted that HBCU, but they wanted $2 million and we couldn't raise it in time, so they sold it to the Asians, who currently have it now. So then that's when we said, well, we just gonna find us a regular school. So from 2014 till 2019, we school hunted. We found FDNG in 2017, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So we just stayed in negotiations with the owners, and then finally, February 2019, they gave it to us. So 5 years to find a school, which in my opinion, that's not a long time to raise the money and find it. 5 years ain't bad at all. And then you go from 19 to 25, right? So you're looking at 6 years of us renovating. It should have only taken us 2 or 3, but there was a lot of scamming going on with the contractors we were using. We really...
So let's pause. Deflecting again. Notice he still haven't addressed that mental health. Now he's blaming Contractor, which been scheming him. He's the biggest scammer that all of us know. Raped the black community, but now he's blaming Contractor. He's talking about scam him, where there's people who came and cut the grass for him. This man has made a little YouTube. You know, I don't have no fancy slideshow to show you. And he scammed this man out of money. Somebody took him to court for painting. He scammed these people. They won in court. He still hasn't paid him. But now he's blaming Contractor. Let's go, family.
Got done dirty by him. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to use Caucasian work because I wanted to keep the money in the community. The people who gave us the money black. I want to keep the project black. Yeah. But I had to wake up one day and say, yo, if you waiting on your people to do this for you, it may not get done. And let me put that in context. You're talking about the second small...
before he puts it in contact, he's telling you he didn't want to give contract to white workers. He wanted to keep it within the community who gave him the money. Let me tell you something. He had 3 attorneys that settle out of court with me. 3 white attorneys that he used the people's money to pay those attorneys. He paid me $68,600. He paid Wellington money because he was in jeopardy of losing those buildings. But the floor isn't done. Okay, family? The floor isn't done. Let's see what this liar scammer has to say. Continue.
All the state in the country, right? So you don't have much to pull from anyway. And then the city of Wilmington requires that your contractors be licensed in the state and licensed in the city. So for example, in Pennsylvania, if you're licensed by the Commonwealth, you can do work anywhere in the state. You got to be licensed in Delaware and then licensed again in Wilmington. You're already dealing with a small pool of available contractors, and then they add that on top. So I say it all the time. We have the best situation in the worst location. And when I say worst location, I'm simply speaking of the limited pool of resources in terms of contractors and the strict stipulations that are required for you to work on a project there. You know, if that same school was in Detroit, Chicago, Philly, we'd be done already, only because you got so many plumbers, you got so many HVAC, you got so many electric. You could go through 30 of them until you hit the right one. But you in the second smallest state, only a handful of black folks, you know what I mean? Contractors that you can really, you know, go to. And everybody we used came highly recommended, by the way. We didn't just grab people. These were people.
Let's pause for a minute. Let's pause. Everybody were highly recommended. You mean to tell me you're the most requested scholar in this country, which he tells us. You were able to give me $68,000. You couldn't find a qualified contractor where you could have fly them in and put them up and have them take care of business? Family, do you see how he's insulting people's intelligence? But let's continue. Let's continue. He's in a small pool, so that's why. You see all the excuse, but let's continue.
Say, get him, get them. We got the people we were told to get. And they still didn't do us right.
But when the pool is so small, and the competition isn't great, it's tough, you know.
And we ran into situations where sometimes, if I don't take the plumber, the electrician say I can't take the job. You feel me? Because that's my man. Right. So since you're not taking him, I can't do it. I'm like, damn, what that got to do with you? I need this. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of that where I like the electrician, don't like the plumber. I like the HVAC guy, don't like the electrician. So, you know, it's networks, you know, and you're dealing with a really small city, and you are outsider coming from Philly. I had to deal with some of that too, you know what I mean?
We're gonna pause. I'm sorry. What he's doing now is gaslighting. Let's continue.
I mean, because even though I get a lot of love in Wilmington and a lot of love across Delaware, you still got them people say, we don't need him here, you know what I mean? We don't need no big city dude coming down here. We can handle our own business. But I'm not here for you, I'm here for the kids. You know what I mean? Because people say, why did you choose Wilmington? And I like Wilmington. I love the energy there. I really do. But people say, why did you choose Wilmington? I didn't choose Wilmington. I chose the school that was in Wilmington. In other words, we wasn't shopping for cities. We shopping for building. And that had the best building that we found. We should have been in Detroit. But once the archdiocese found out who I was, they wouldn't sell me none of the schools. I knew we was in.
Let's pause. He always has that excuse once they find out who he is. You mean to tell me in the city of Detroit, he couldn't find a school there? Again, family, gaslighting. But let's continue. Excuses. Let's continue.
Detroit. Me and my mother was preparing to move to Detroit. I said, Mom, we going to Detroit. We out. It's going to be cold. She said, I don't care. Let's go. And then the Jewish real...
Pause. His mother is kind of almost senile. That woman didn't say, let's go. Lies. But let's continue.
For the archdiocese, and I thought that was interesting that the archdiocese had it, because if you understand that history, but he said they want to see your curriculum. I said, we buying the school cash money. What you need to see my curriculum for? This ain't no charter school. You follow what I'm saying? This ain't no lease.
Right.
I'm buying and we done. What you want to know what I'm teaching for? I said, you can't get that.
Do they think they're pushing?
Pause. Why can't they see your curriculum? Do you even have a curriculum? And then you're a black leader, huh? You're taking money from the community. Why haven't you shared your curriculum with the black community? You said this is supposed to be a black-owned, black-run school.
Why can't there be transparency, sir? Let's go, family. Let's continue.
Religion is it a religious thing? Like, where's the pushback in that city?
Let's pause. Now, you see, this man want to know what's the pushback? What's the pushback? Because what he just said made no sense. But let's continue.
I think it's just that they knew who I was and wasn't going to sell. And guess what?
They knew who he was. You ain't a nobody. But let's continue, family.
But every school in Detroit that we wanted,
The ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the
Hold
best
on,
partner
family.
is the one who can deliver.
sitting there. So that's why I tell people you got to understand that when it come to white people, they're more about power than money.
Yeah.
If they was about the money, they would have sold us the building. They all there. They was about the control. We don't want him teaching that. You feel me? We rather
And
not
there's a
make the
reason why
money.
Detroit looks like Detroit.
Yes. Oh man. Oh, I learned so much in the school hunt. I remember I was going to lease a school in Mount Vernon, New York, Catholic school, and the supervisor said, "I got to call the Vatican." I said, "What?" He said, I said, "You got to call Rome." He said, "I got to call Rome." I said, "Why you got to call Rome?" He said, "What did he say?" He said, "About half the Catholic schools in America are still managed directly from the Vatican." He had to call the Vatican and ask if he could
Well,
lease
let's
the school to
pause.
Dr. Umar.
Sir, you are a scholar. All the Catholic Church in America are governed by the Vatican. So right there, how could a scholar even utter? How could you not even know that, sir? I knew that. Okay, let's continue, family.
One, of course, they said hell no. Yeah, so. And he also told me that the Vatican is the second largest property owner either in the United States or in the world. I didn't know that. White boy was dropping all these jewels on me. He said we own much property. I didn't know that either.
Yes, the properties of the church, sir. The Roman Catholic is one of the largest religions in the world. So, hello, how could you be a scholar? How many degrees he told us he had family and he didn't know that? Okay, let's continue. How many third world country has a Catholic come and to do charity work and penetrate in these? But he didn't know this. Let's continue.
So that's crazy. So when you hear about that, United States, London, Rome Connect, that's real. Them 3 city-states that don't answer to nobody, that's very real. That's very real.
It's very interesting how you mentioned about the contracting.
Yeah.
Right? Because, people could say whatever the hell they want. When you go into that, it's tough. I got a lot of friends that are into real estate.
Let's pause for a minute. You notice how he redirect them back to the contractor? This is what you call a soft interview. Talking about Roman Catholic. Get back to the school. See how he redirect them? Let's see, family. Let's continue.
And I'm from a city, Buffalo, New York. It's a very small city, similar to the way Detroit operates.
Yes, sir.
And, they'll get contractors, they'll get it all set up, and the job is done terribly.
Yep.
And it's just war.
Yep.
It's just like, okay, well, what do I do about this? Now we gotta rip it out.
Yep.
It's just a thing that most people don't have a clue about.
They have no clue about it. And then when somebody don't finish their work, so let's say the electricians don't finish their work, you got to get another electrician.
Come behind.
No contractor, what I saw, they never want to say the previous contractor did a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, we got to do it over. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't build from where they slept. Nah, they didn't do that. Nobody was able to say we could pick up where they started. You know what I mean? The plumbers, nah, they didn't do this right. And I know they did it right, but you just want to get paid the full thing. Yeah.
Project.
So we had to deal with that,
Let's
But
pause, family. Again, he's throwing the black community under the bus to let you know he couldn't find anyone within his people that were qualified enough to come work the FDNG. But look how he raised the white contractor. Here we go, family. Y'all pay attention. Listen.
Folks, they did it. They charged us up.
Let
They
me remind
overcharged us.
Let me remind us. Let's go.
Plumbers, nah, they didn't do this right. And I know they did it right, but you just want to get paid the full thing. Yeah.
Project.
So we had to deal with that, But the white folks, they did it. They charged us up. They overcharged us. But at least they finished the job. You know what
Family.
I mean? So that's what.
Family, we're going to pause. Do you hear this? You hear this? This is how he rolled. That black earned money that he didn't work for, hardworking people within our community, gave to him. He gave it to white contractor. He comes on this podcast and elevate them and threw the black contractors under the bus. Y'all need to open your eyes and understand this demon right here in front of you. Do you hear this, family? And I'm telling y'all that $68,600, he had 3 white attorneys. You know why I got that money? Because he does not want me to come out with the raw footage of the testimony of the woman. I can't show you the footage, but I can speak, family, and had the audacity to threaten my life. Let's continue, family.
Yeah, and then you get people say, well, you know, if he's on his Pan-Africanism and his Garveyism platform, why would he let white people do the work? You have to distinguish and differentiate between charity and business. We don't accept donations from non-Africans, right? But if I have to pay a non-African to do a job, that's business. That's not a handout. They're not volunteering. They're not giving us nothing. We're paying
You
them
understand what he's saying? There's a survey that came out from Princeton University. They say the black dollar stay within the black community 1 day. What does that mean? That means when you pay the barber, you pay the hairdresser, it's going into a black-owned business. But when they pay their overhead, that money leaves our community. And the Jewish community, it stays for 12 days. And the Italian community, it stays for 8 days. And the Asian community, it stays for 10 days. We have the less value time for our dollars. So he's sitting here, a leader. He compared himself to Martin Luther King, to Malcolm X, and he's telling you, oh, it's business. I could take the black folks' hard-earned money and then put it back into a community that doesn't look at us. Pay attention. Let's go, family.
Do a job. You see, it's like if I have a store and a white person comes in and buys from my store, that's no contradiction. That's business. But if I got white folks coming in there financing me, that's a contradiction. You see, so people say, well, that's a contradiction. You got white folks doing the work. That's called business, bro. That's just business. Fee for service. It's not a handout.
Now you heard it from the good doctor's own mouth. He took the money from the community, but he's telling you in the United States, he couldn't find any qualified black contractor. He had to use white contract. They were the one who were qualified. And he's justifying the money leaving the community. Let's go, family. Seeing is believing. Let's go.
Now, if they was financing us, that would be a contradiction. Because you give up your sovereignty with them.
And so how do you keep it together? Because that sounds extremely stressful.
Again, you see, soft interview. He's back again. Okay, that mental health issue. He rephrased it. Let's see how he answered it. What? Let's see, family.
I tell you how I keep it together. Number one, I believe I was born to do the work that I do.
Okay.
That's the priority. The number one, people say, how you keep going through this. Somebody texted me today when I was on my way here. They said, I'm trying to understand how you continue to keep going after everything people throw at you. Like your bounce back game is crazy. You know what I mean? And for me, I know I was born to do what I'm doing. When you know why you here, you can put up with any what. It's not a thing where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be built in no school. You feel me? I don't have that.
No doubt.
I know I'm supposed to do it, so I got to deal with whatever comes with it. So number one, I know I'm doing the work I was born to do. That's number one. Number two, I've never cared about what people thought too much. You know what I mean? Like some people, they gotta be viewed positively by outsiders. I don't.
So let's pause. So he's letting you know he doesn't give a damn what the community think of him. And then number two, he's doing the work. He knows why he's here. When he goes and steal from the community, he's answering to a higher power. Okay? When he goes and violate women physically in the community, and I'm not saying some of these women are not willing, but you know, he hoodwinked them. Okay? In the community, he's meeting his entity's need. But let's continue, family.
I don't care what people think or what people say. And I believe my popularity had a lot to do with that too, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know if it's gonna hurt your feelings. I don't know if you're gonna like it. I don't know if you're gonna love it, but I'm gonna be honest. And I think people have grown to appreciate the honesty of my message, because I get people stop me in the airport all the time. I don't agree with everything you say, you know what I mean? But you're consistent. Whereas a lot of these...
Well, let's pause. Sir, there's nothing honest about you. You're a liar and you're a thief. And yes, you are consistent. You're consistent on telling us to hit the Cash App. You're consistent to telling us FDNG is going to open and it has not opened. You throw us a barbecue. Your consistency to give us lecture, but with no finished product. But let's continue. You're absolutely right about that. Let's continue, family.
Other guys out here who claim to be into the conscious movement, they not consistent. They'll flip-flop. 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, 1 minute they this, based on what gets the attention, what gets the money. I've never capitulated my position. You know what I mean? And I think thirdly, you know, I practice Yoruba spirituality. And in Yoruba spirituality...
Now let's pause. He's talking about that spirit that he worshiped. That demonic spirit that he's worshiped. Let me tell you something. Just like there's a God, there is a devil. He worshiped a demonic spirit. He's breaking it down to you. Pay attention, family. Pay attention. Let's go.
You know, you're born with a guardian angel, guardian spirit. Mine is Ogun. Ogun is the spirit of war, iron, perseverance, determination. Don't quit. Work hard.
Wow.
That's my guardian spirit. You feel me? So I got to keep going. You know what I mean?
Ogun is a demonic spirit. This is who he worshiped to. Ogun's number is 3. When he talks with his supporter, notice how he repeats things 3 times. He wants to have a wife, but Ogun will not allow that. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. That is not allowed for him to have a wife. Ogun will allow him to sleep with multiple women. Ogun will allow that. Ogun will take pleasure on him stealing from people in his community that looks like him. Ogun will allow that. You understand what I'm saying? Everything, when I made that movie with him, that fantasy he wanted to portray to you guys, that's everything Ogun would not allow. But let's finish this little video. Here we go, ghetto style. Here we go. Let's go.
I think that's how I'm able to put up with it.
Family, thank you. Thank you for watching this with me. And you got my raw feeling about the interview. This was a soft interview. They didn't ask him any hard question. They tiptoe around question, okay? To keep him happy, not to upset him. This was garbage. And then I made it clear and as polite as I can to the email that I sent to them. This man is a financial rapist within the Black community. I'm not going to stop saying it. I'm going to continue to say it. And then I don't appreciate him threatening my life. You understand? Don't appreciate. I don't care what y'all say. Maryanne, let it go. No. He's not going to make no threat on my life, and I'm going to sit here quietly in the corner. That's not happening, family. That's not happening. Now, let me give you guys an update. So the authority, they did talk to him. They're like, look, you're not doing this directly, but we know it's you. Cut it out. You continue. You're creating a big, major legal problem for you. Okay? He's like, well, I don't know. She has this is his excuse to the authority. I have a YouTube channel. So, you know, when you come out publicly like that, you subject yourself to stuff. It's not him. Liar. You're a freaking liar. But okay, family, thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. And then you could catch it on their podcast without the interruption of me keep pausing. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.